Do you hate asking for money, especially when it comes time to make a sale? In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to get over that fear, move past it, and start making all the sales that you want without being sleazy, scammy, or salesy. All right, welcome back. This question comes from one of you guys. This is from one of my consultation calls. So what I've been doing over the last couple of videos is basically just taking my notebook of consultation calls, and the same way that I would be answering the questions in that call, I'm just gonna be doing here on the video. So if you haven't booked your consultation call with me, you might get an invite. I typically don't do a whole lot of calls because my business is mostly based around the programs that I sell. However, if you want to click the link in the description for one-on-one mentoring and you're interested in that, then we can potentially get on a call if you're the right fit, and you might go into my consultation book. But right now, let's go over this question, which was around the feeling of not wanting to sell and not wanting to ask for money. So as we started going through this clarity call, a lot of things became very, very clear to me. And that's the purpose of my clarity calls. It's the reason why I call them clarity calls, because my goal is to help you get clear on your next steps, what's in the way and what's blocking you right now. And it's also for me to get clear on what is in your way and kind of where you're stuck, but also for me to get clear on what would be your next best step. Like, what's the best fit for you to help you keep moving forward. One of the things that I discovered and I realized early on in my coaching business was that there wasn't just one program or one coach or one thing that was going to help me get to my goal. There was going to be a lot of different things. And once I realized that, that's when I felt free and I was able to hit the ground running with investments. So before I get to that question, let me just kind of tangent off that for just a second, because my very first investment was actually a year-long mastermind. And let me go back. That wasn't my first investment, but that was really like the first serious investment I made in my coaching business. Before that, I had been purchasing small courses at like $97, $7, $17, $29. And then I also had purchased a course from like a huge marketer where you basically are only getting videos and workbooks and you're not getting access to anyone, but it still has a like high price tag on it, especially for someone that's just getting started. And I had to choose the payment plan because I, just wasn't able to drop $3,000 for the pay in full. So I had done that and I felt like that was a huge step for me. But the next step that I knew I needed was one-on-one help. Like, I needed someone to actually look at what was I doing. If you have been in courses, enrolling in programs, and you still feel like you're no further ahead than you were when you first started purchasing the courses, it's likely that you need to take that step up as well and start working with a coach, work with someone individually. So what I started to do was I started looking for someone who could help me to, take things to the next level and go to the next step. And I found a year-long mastermind, and that mastermind also came with a retreat. And so I was like, okay, this is great. This is exactly what I want to do. I'm going to be connected with other business owners, and I'm also going to be able to get personalized help. When I was in that mastermind, I had a huge realization that really honestly changed the trajectory of my business over the next 5 years. And I realized that one mastermind program was not going to be the be all end all. Inside of that mastermind program, I learned a lot. And the biggest thing that I learned was that I was going to need to invest in individual areas where I was lacking skills or talent. So the mastermind was more of in general, this is what you do and here's the steps, and that's great. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm ready to launch. Like, how do I launch? I'm ready to start running ads. How do I run ads? And all these little things that I didn't know at that time. I didn't want to wait for the mastermind to catch up to where I was ready to be. Like, I wanted to jump ahead. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, so even though I had just made this huge $8,000 plus investment for this mastermind, I'm probably going to need to invest bigger and invest in a coach. And not like a coach from a mastermind, but like actual one-on-one. Like, I'm gonna need some one-on-one sessions. I need to be able to ask. I need to move as quickly as possible. And that's typically where I find my one-on-one clients filter in with me is, they know they're going to be successful. Like, if you're one of my ideal clients, you're going to be successful, but it's just a matter of how quickly. And so in general, when clients come to work with me, it's because they want to get there faster, not because they don't know where to find the information. Information is everywhere. A lot of it is in my courses, but they want to work with me because they want to get there faster. And so going back to this question and this issue that this client was having on not wanting to sell and not wanting to offer stuff, I want to let you know that there are lots of people out there that are like me, where I was at the time where I was looking for help. And obviously I still look for help. I still hire in areas of my weakness. And so you're not being sleazy or scammy or salesy by offering help. That is all you are doing. You are offering help. You're not asking for money. So that's the very first thing I want you to get off of your mind is like, you're not asking for money. There's always an exchange. There's no like imbalance where someone gives you money and now you're up here and they're down here. No, they make an investment and they come up here and you provide them that energy that you know you can deliver. And now you guys have just created something beautiful and they have that transformation. So they're giving you money in exchange for a transformation. It's an energetic exchange. So what I want you to think about as you're going through this and you're like, oh, I don't want to ask for money. I'm scared to ask for money. Or, we get to the end of the call and I don't ask for money. Stop asking. You don't have to ask. The only thing that you need to do is offer. Now, the problem that comes in is that a lot of people don't really know what to offer or what is an offer or how to actually make an offer. If that is the knowledge that you're lacking, that's an easy fix. All you have to do is get that knowledge, figure out what your offer is. That's it. That's what we do inside of Create and Fill Your Coaching program. So a main and huge part of that program, which is a course, it's set up as a course, as an on-demand course. And I also have a one-on-one option for that course. But the main outcome for that program is that you will create your coaching program and you'll know how to fill it. You'll know how to enroll students. You'll know where to find clients. You'll have that energy of that coach who never has to look for clients, someone who can naturally attract ideal, high quality clients. And not only that, but I give you my launch process, my sales strategies, so much more. If you want to check that program out, there are details in the description box. But I want to continue on with this topic because I feel like I'm getting that you still have more questions. And usually what happens is when I go off on my tangents, there's like something in the back of my mind that's like, you haven't answered the question yet. And I feel like I haven't answered the question yet for you. So the very first thing that I want you to do in order to get confident in making that offer is knowing what your offer is. So you should be able to spit back your offer easily. Let me give you an example. I'm not selling, I'm just telling you about the offer. Create and Fill Your Coaching program has 6 modules. In module 1, we go through the energy of a fully booked coach. So you have that natural energy that attracts clients to you. In module 2, we go over your branding and ways to grow your audience. In module 3, I share with you how to create your coaching program, what to put in it. In module 4, I share with you how to enroll clients in your program, where those clients are. In module 5, I go over my simple launch strategy so that you can launch your coaching program. And in module 6, I share with you sales strategies so you know exactly how to make that sale, whether it's over the phone, via messenger, in person, whatever it is. So do you see how I just kind of like rattled that off like very quickly? And there's more detail I could go into because I know that program like the back of my hand. I know that offer, and that's not even the entire thing. There's downloads, there's templates, there's a weekly office hours inside of our student group. There is a student group. So there's more in that offer. But if you don't have that confidence in your offer where you can like just rattle it off right there, then that's going to be the first thing that's going to make you feel like you're asking for money. Like, yeah, if you don't know what you're offering to somebody and you're just like going flying by the seat of your pants, it's going to feel like you're asking somebody for money. So that's the very first thing, is get really clear on your offer. One of the first things that we do when we're creating the offer inside of Create and Fill Your Coaching program is we kind of like mind map it out. So you'll know exactly what those milestones are, what the benefits are for each milestone. And we get really clear so that you're clear on your offer and your ideal client is clear on the offer as well. The next thing that I want you to do in order to make sure that you're not feeling like you're asking for money is to get really clear on your pricing. Like, get confident in your investment. If you are not confident in your investment, that person is going to sense it. they're going to realize it, and then they're not going to make that decision. I have had calls where, I've said my investment and there's no wavering. And then I've had someone, ask, for example, do you have a payment plan for that? And I said, no, I don't. I don't do a payment plan for this one because at this level, this client steps up and pays in full. And I didn't say specifically that, but I just said, no, I don't have a payment plan for that one. Now, if I was where I was several years ago, and I'm saying this and I'm being honest with you guys, I've had that question in the past where I presented a price and I gave the payment plan that I was comfortable in. And then they were like, well, I don't know if I can do that. Can you stretch it out over this much? And I was like, well, I think we can do that. And they didn't sign up anyway. And so that's the thing, is like, if you're not confident in your pricing, they're not going to be confident enough to work with you. No matter how flexible you think you're being, it's not helping you. It's a huge mistake. There are 6 mistakes that most coaches make, and I'm going to share with you a free training that I did that goes over all 6 mistakes in just a second. But first, I want to give you the final piece and tip on how you can make your sales without being salesy, without feeling like you're asking for money. And that is to be honest with yourself of how you are approaching your own process of purchasing. So when you make an investment, number one, are you investing in yourself? And number two, when you make an investment, are you questioning that investment? Are you wavering on that decision? If you are the type of person who is not decisive and you kind of waver or flip-flop on your decisions, then those are the clients that are going to be attracted to you, because like attracts like. Birds of a feather flock together. Walk with the wise, become wise. Like, it's natural that you will be a magnet for who you are, not what you want. You're not a magnet for what you want. You're a magnet for who you are and the way that you act and the way that you vibe. So if you are the type of person who you're not investing in yourself at a high level, you're not taking that leap and really actually putting your feet to the fire and being confident about your investments, those are people that you're going to find. And it is going to feel like you're asking them for money because they're scared, but they're scared the same way that you're scared. So I want you to be really, really honest with yourself. Now, once again, not being able to make a sale and not having the right sales strategy is just one mistake that most coaches make, but there are 6 mistakes that most new coaches make, and these mistakes will prevent you from getting to 6 figures. In fact, one client avoided the very first mistake and she was able to generate $95,000 just in 12 months after we started working together. In order to get this training, all you have to do is go to latisha.tv/6. That's latisha.tv/SIX. Or you can click the link in the description box. It'll take you right there. During that training, you'll discover why you can't afford to make less than 6 figures as a coach. You'll see how my clients are able to generate 10K in 10 days and sell out their coaching offers with a buying frenzy. Once again, you can click the link in the description in order to get that training. Now I'm interested to hear from you. What are the issues that you are having on sales calls, on strategy calls? Is this something that's popping up for you? Let me know. Let's get the conversation started. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.